We are officially live. What's up, everybody? So great to see you. If you're wondering how live we are so live, it's written all over my shirt. That's how live we are. Really pumped to be here today. Got something really special for you. I'm seeing people already in the chat. We've got a good turnout already, and it's gonna be interesting because we've got two lives today. And I don't know which one's gonna have more people, but I do know that both are gonna be really awesome. It's occurring to me, especially since the last two lives were a bit intense on purpose. This one might start introducing me to some new people. So, for anyone who's not familiar with me, really quick, my name is Andrew. I'm otherwise known as that guy who wrote the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. Anyone that wants to check that book out or just feel good, you can feel free to go to andrewcap.com. That's got very easy links to the Amazon listings. All my books, they're available in so many formats. We've got hardcover, we've got soft cover, we've got Kindle, we've got audiobook, like whatever way you like to consume books, they've got them up there. I was very intentional about putting it on a massive platform in as many formats as possible because I want people to have whatever access works for them. And because I want to make sure anyone can enjoy these books, I've kept the Kindle prices on them at only $4. Actually $3.99, so it's even less. So this is the first live where I'm like throwing the books up on camera. It's like, Andrew, why are you being a little over the top there? It's kind of making a point. It's a segue because the thing about those books, this one has, I don't know, at least two methods. This one's got more. This one's got like 19 or 20. And here I'm writing, the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. What is the point and the purpose behind the variety? Because here we're first workshop ever on how to build and create your own manifesting methods. Why did I put so many in that book? What is the point of the variety? The point of the variety, and even the reason why I'm doing this with you, is because we always need to be cognizant of our human nature. We always need to be aware of the way we might potentially get in our own way and stop ourselves from manifesting and succeeding on a level that we could or should do. And part of that is understanding that we might find ourselves getting bored with a method, even if it's an awesome method, even if it's a lot of fun. So it's very important, at least from my perspective. There are people that they can stick with one method forever and never get tired of it, whereas other people need variety. This book right here, this guy mentions the one method that I do every single day. The one method I do every single day, the Buddy Blitz, even though it's not called the Buddy Blitz, it's in this one. But given that everyone's got their own way of doing things, it's very important to recognize when you need a little novelty. And once you recognize that you need that novelty, to have access to it, to be able to utilize novelty, to be able to have a variety in the method so that every single day you still look forward to doing this. You still enjoy this part of the process because this is where all the heavy lifting is done, really. I mean, obviously, the universe is going to do a lot of heavy lifting in the background, but for your part, in order to engage in that process, in order to set your vibrational frequency to such a point, to such a way that you can now invite these improvements and these outcomes and these manifestations and these things that you've wanted. Maybe you want them for a month, maybe you want them for a decade, maybe you've wanted them your entire life. It's very important that you engage in this process where you have ways, you have methods, if you need them, to help you feel positive emotion for just a few minutes a day while you're focusing on what you have or what you want or both. So as I was thinking about like this idea of like, what can I do to help people with that even more so? Because I can give them all the variety in the world, but what if I could enable them and empower them to create their own extra level of variety whenever they choose? And I considered like making this like a real like a product that I sold access to. This might have been, a $49 deal. This might have been a $97 deal. This was almost a $197 deal. And as I'm like thinking about the prices and this and that, I'm like, wait a second, I'm not just in value creation mode, I'm in value giving mode. Why not just offer this for free in a format like this where it'll work? I mean, there's always the preferred format of like having people in person with you, and you can, on camera at least, you could look them in the eye, you can read their facial expressions when you say something and you see how it's landing, you could hear their voice, you have that immediate feedback. That's obviously like the optimal level, but YouTube lives are, as we're about to find out, as you're about to experience, these are just fine for this. Zipa, thank you. You are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that more than you realize. Um, so what we're going to do here, and this is why I'm really excited to have enough people on the call. I'm emailing on these kinds of lives more than I should because I want people here on the onset of these kinds of calls because this one is really going to thrive more with your participation. I don't want you just to engage in the process because it's a benefit to you. I want you to engage in this specific process today because it's of extra benefit to everybody else. This is going to be a really fun creative experience that we're going to be participating in together. And I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this. I thought of maybe two or three questions to prompt us in the right direction. 3 minutes before hitting the button to go live, I thought of the name of a method. And that's like really it. Like there's no preparation other than my life experience, other than what I'm bringing to the table in the moment to respond to you based on the feedback that you give me to have an organic back and forth. And that's by design. I want to do not just a demo of coming up with these methods. I want to do a spontaneous demo, a demo of spontaneously coming up with these methods. Again, just as a way of showing you how, not that how this has to be done, but how this may or can be done if it suits you. And if you kind of even go back along, and we're about to get started here because I'm sure you're anxious to dive in, but as you look into the lives that I've done for the past week, in fact, today is 1 week since I did my first live in 4 years. As you move across and you kind of look at the themes of the lives and the direction that we're taking, you'll notice that I'm giving different angles of all this. I'm giving you different entry points in order to utilize this information, in order to leverage what you already read in this guy, to leverage it, or what you read in this guy, whichever one. That's what this is all about. So I'm like, if you see me like looking up and trying to figure something, I'm literally like just trying to figure and think of something in the moment. Like this is the level that we're going to go on here. So to kick things off, and this is obviously a lot. This is the best way of experiencing this is live. Some people can't be here. They're in different time zones. I'm very grateful to have people across the world. For people that show up later, whether it's a day later or a year later, take my advice and comment below because just by having this participation, you're going to notice that when you come to this video, hopefully, if other people are doing this along with you, you'll have comments that are waiting for you that are going to help you. And then you will have the opportunity to participate and contribute comments for yourself, but also to leave comments that other people who follow you will be served by. So the way I'm hopefully like paying forward and hopefully delivering value today, I would just ask you to pay that forward and deliver value in the sense that you will, as long as you're not feeling too shy, chat live or comment below after the fact. It really is an amazing difference in what we're doing here because this is a workshop. Like, I don't think I've ever called a live before a workshop. This is a workshop where we're kind of interacting together. Uh, Quick comment before diving in with the first piece from Growling Gangloff Trading. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. I read this book a year ago and still do the work every single day. It literally changed my life. That is awesome. Do not feel obligated, but always feel welcome if you want to, more for yourself than for me, to articulate, whether it's in the chat or an email or just yourself, how it changed your life. Feel free to articulate which cool parts of your life like really took off. If there was a specific manifestation that shifted things, if there was a specific method that just like took you to a level, if there was a specific point from the book or a point that I made in the book where you're like, oh, I never thought of it that way before. This changes everything. Don't take time now if you don't have to, because we're going to be commenting about some like real time stuff. But just as a suggestion to you, it's like, feel free, whether it's to me or just to yourself, articulate the way in which it changed your life because that'll kind of pick things up even further for you. But thank you so much for that comment. Okay, let's kick things off and let's start getting some materials to play with. Let's get some sculpture and playing with this. If you could in the chat, just type out like, and you don't have to get too personal if you don't want to. Type out a moment from your life that you're really grateful for, that anytime you think back to it, it brings a smile to your face. And if you can, try to articulate where you were in the middle of this moment. If it was a vacation, don't just say vacation, say Hawaii. If it was, at a party, well, was it a high school party? Like do you remember, was it in a house or was it in an apartment or was it in a school? Like, give the location and the thing that brings a smile to your face. This is the raw materials that we're about to start using here. So I'm going to take a minute. I'm just going to start like talking, blah, 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 like, filling dead air while I give people an opportunity. There shouldn't be any commercials playing. So there should not be a delay in hearing my requests and providing these instructions. Um, so we'll just see. I see Z Paul in the meantime commented, my favorite so far is mixing past, present, and future gratitudes. That's time lapse. It's all now and worthy of praise. Awesome. All right, let's go. I was sitting in my car after dropping my son off at golf practice. One person said falling in love with a couple of strangers on a beach, not knowing the relationship to come. Cliff said birthday party at a restaurant with friends. Awesome. Anyone else? First time my husband held my how cool is that? The first time my husband held my hand. Awesome. This is great. I'm gonna have so much trouble keeping up with this. My friend's mom gave $300 without me asking and really helped me out. Sitting in my backyard with a newborn daughter. Wow. Well, when I worked for bands in the 80s and the Sunset Strip and enjoying people, I love all this. In London, waiting for my son who was at an audition. I hope I'm not missing any. Um, at home, receiving a really good message. Someone else will say at home's receiving good massage, right? So many different things. Met one of my best friends when I was 14 on a horse and summer riding motorcycle. Really cool, really cool. Awesome. Okay. Apologies if I don't read yours. I'll read one more. On a on a boat in the summer with my dad and family in Michigan, I can still smell the lake and hear Neil Diamond on the radio. Wow, nice. So Sweet Caroline playing, right? Oh, we're gonna use that one for you. That's gonna be great. Okay, cool. These are all great, by the way, and I hope as you're leaving yours, you're also kind of like reading others people's and seeing how it resonates and how it connects with you. So we've got this like this memory of what this thing is like. Now I want you to please type in um, just a manifesting goal, like something that you would like to manifest in the near future. I don't know if it feels like it's on the cusp of happening or it feels far off. It doesn't matter. Type in something that to whatever measure you want to without getting too personal or get as personal as you want. But please type out now what you want to manifest. What's something that really resonates with you right now that really lights you up? Maybe it's the thing that made you click to buy this on Amazon or something else. We got a full-time job, a wonderful but intimate, a wondrous but intimate wedding, my business taking off that I started in August, enough money to buy myself a house, more abundance, winning a large amount of money. Very cool. Just waiting to see if anything else comes in while simultaneously my brain's going rapid fire to make sure I do all this. Manifesting moving back to PA, being close to my family. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, cool. Okay. Now, if you could please describe describe like a common environment that you are in right now. Okay? Like, in other words, like, are you usually in your apartment all day? Do you usually go to a specific office for work? Is there a pizza place that you go on a regular basis? Like, is what's an area, a physical location that you spend a lot of your time in throughout this part of your life this year? And again, it doesn't matter whether it's work. Try to pick something that's hopefully not negative in nature. Hopefully, there's not too much stress related to it. But let's just see what we got with that. So we've got at home, we've got apartment. Okay, awesome. Working from home, really cool. Working from home, living room, sweet. My house. Okay, cool. All right. So this is where we hopefully have a little bit fun here. Enjoying my cottage. Cool. All right, cool. If you need to, if it helps, you can kind of close your eyes. But I want you to close your eyes. Actually, no, I have one more question for you. I have one more question. I'm sorry. That manifestation that you told me about that you want, type out what is one indicator that would demonstrate that it's happened in real life. So, for example, if like you're looking for a new job, a demonstration from that it's actually happening is you might receive an email informing you that you've been accepted. You might be looking at your bank balance, receiving a direct deposit. Or if you're old school, you might be getting like a paycheck with a pay stub. You might be filling out your calendar to account for this new job that you have to get to? Like, what is a thing now? What is a sign and indicator where you can say, this articulates the fact that I got this manifestation. So I don't know if I'm catching up with this. A place has been booked, travel's paid. We receive a phone call that they accepted our offer on the house, received an email, appointment for a job, payment notification, the check arrives. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, all right, now we're ready to have a little bit of fun here. So we've got all this raw material, and notice the directions we're going here. First, I had you kind of like go back in time to a place, to a specific location where you were happy, where positive emotion just exists, right? It's just there. And every time you go back to it, it's there. And I also asked, what what's something that you want? And I asked what's an indicator that you got that thing? And I asked what's a common place that you're in during the day. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Feel free to close your eyes with this. I want you to close your eyes. Visualize yourself in the place that you're at, like normally these days, like this year, and imagine or visualize that indicator that you got the thing that you wanted. So you're in the physical location in the presence. You're visualizing the indicator, whether it was the phone call, it was the email, it was some notification that came on your phone. You're visualizing this thing happening while you're in this present day location. And I just want you to, you don't have to hold on too tight to it. You don't have to search for extra details if they're not there, although you're welcome to kind of go down the road of basking in details, but just swim and live in that moment right now. You're in this physical space that's familiar and you're experiencing not like the indicator, not the thing itself. You're not putting yourself under the pressure of having to experience the actual manifestation. You're giving yourself the less pressure of saying, okay, like what's an indicator? What's giving you a sign here? Now, as you're visualizing this, the space that you're in, that you're maybe you're sitting down when you're doing this, you're standing up, whatever that is, I almost want you to like to blink, and all of a sudden, you're still experiencing this indicator, whether it's a phone notification or it's the phone call, whatever it is, you're still, but now your background is suddenly the location of that place from your past that brings a smile to your face. So now everything's the same except for the environment. You still have this indication that you are visualizing, that you're receiving, that's telling you that you got the manifestation. But now the backdrop is this wonderful place that you've always experienced and always remembered fondly with these positive emotions that are literally embedded in you physically, physiologically, energetically, vibrationally, whatever you want to say. Okay, so now you're swimming in this. Again, don't feel like you don't have to hold on too tight for it. You just have to like just be in it because it might be a little weird, it might be a little awkward, but this should be loose and easy. Like if you're in Hawaii, Zpaw, thank you. Thank you. If you're in Hawaii, just look at the palm, or Florida, like you're looking at the palm trees while you're getting this phone notification. If you're in Vegas, you can hear the dinging of the slot machines as you're getting this thing. If you're like at some beach resort, if you're on your honeymoon, like whatever it is, whatever the backdrop is it a warm, toasty fire on a cool autumn evening? Are you in a cabin? Are you in a ski lodge? Are you just in like were you just at a house party and at a friend's house from when you were in high school, whatever that is? Okay, so you're visualizing this indicator while you're in that location. And now blink and switch back, and you're back in the present environment that you are normally in, and you're still visualizing that indicator. Again, I don't know if it's a phone call, I don't know if it's a notification, I don't know if it's a paycheck stub, I don't know what it is, but now you're back in that environment and you're experiencing this thing. Um, Someone comment, all I see is my new identity, my body light and healthy, a deep sense of ease, so much anticipation for good things coming, so much freedom and possibilities, light, carefree, easy, appreciating. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. No one has to feel that. Nobody else has to, but that right there is a nice, potent, powerful, really vibrant moment for you. I love it. Paul says this is so powerful right away for me. Beautiful. It might be really powerful for people. It might be really subtle. Doesn't matter. But now I want you to blink. Go back to the old location, the location from your past, where again you're just experiencing this thing. You're looking at your notification. You're looking at the bank balance. You're looking at the paycheck stub. You're listening to the phone call. And maybe like you visualize like a landline. I know most of us are on cell phones, but maybe you were like on a landline phone. You're like, Andrew, how could I be on a landline on the beach? Just have that wire from the landline go into the stick into the sand. It doesn't matter. Like we're not looking for like a perfect. We're not looking for holes in the pot of a movie. We're just looking for a visualization that's making an impact on you psychologically and vibrationally. Awesome. I'm loving this. I'm reading some great comments. I every time I see comments like come in, I'm like, I hope I remember to click the enable live replay for the chat so that I can read it and everyone else can experience it. Okay, so we're in that old environment and your experience indicator. Let's go back one more time to the present environment. And as you're like in this environment and you're thinking about the indicator, just take a nice deep breath. Just relax. Just sit in this moment for a minute. And as you're sitting in this moment, understand that I made this up on the fly. I was actually nervous in the sense that I asked you for fourth. I thought I needed three things when I first thought of it in the moment. And I'm like, oh, I need a fourth thing. Oh, I hope I remember the steps. Like, and this thing, I came up with a name to suit it. I call this the moment meld method. The moment meld method. Why? Because you're melding moments. And by the way, you don't have to name all your methods. I like naming the methods because it infuses a little extra fun. It makes them memorable and it makes them easy to, from my standpoint, since I teach this stuff, it makes it easy to communicate with people. Like when everyone's familiar with the time lapse method and I just say do the time lapse, it just clicks and it helps us move like more forward in direction. But like I just made that up. And notice, and let's talk about the raw materials that I use to make this up because this is the part. This is why this is a workshop. This is why hopefully this is showing you how to do it. I am choosing focal points that are grounded in your current reality, that are grounded in a past that you prefer and in a future that you want. Notice that now you don't always have to do this for all the elements, but just for this one specifically, those are really all the raw materials that you need when you want to come up with a method. You don't need all the pieces, but those are like all the pieces that you need. You know, you've got a past focal point of reference that really resonates with you. You've got this present thing that really grounds you in this moment, and then you've got that thing that you want. And the past and the present, again, like the time lapse will articulate, time lapse from this book, the past and the present really anchor this thing because the past happened and the present is happening. So there's this really strong sense of reality that's linked to this as you're doing this, and you're pulling this future thing that you want in a grounded way. Notice I said, like, what is a common sense, logical indicator that this thing is actually happening? We pull that in. We pull that in. That's what we're doing here. How's everyone feeling? Comment below for people that see this later, but also in the chat. How is this resonating as I'm describing this for you? Trudy said, I invented one, vibrational tennis. I say a word, then someone else bats another positive association back. Then we make a word volley of positivity. I love that. You technically kind of like went out from under me because I was going to do something along those lines. Not in that way, but I'm still going to do something cool. But I love that is amazing. Kiona, thank you so much. Um, I'm going to say that again so people can hear. Trudy said, I invented one, vibrational tennis. I say a word, then someone bats another positive association back at me, and we volley back and forth. That the really cool thing about that is there's layers. You could do it exactly the way that was described, but you could volley back positive memories, and then you could meld in future events as if they're memories. Like you could volley those back and forth. Like what a cool thing. Now, Trudy is a little ahead of me. A real quick growing says outstanding. I usually do my work in the morning and at night. Very nice change in the middle of the day. Awesome. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to mix it up. Okay, so Trudy like kind of was like a little bit ahead of me here. The next thing I want to ask for you for our raw material, we have raw materials that we're gonna build and mold and create some stuff out of. Z Paul, you were amazing. You're like, I think you were definitely my top super chatter. You were amazing. Thank you. Okay, so everyone in the comments below, but in the chat right now, live, especially live, please like Trudy mentioned tennis, which I imagine like tennis is an interest, right? What's an interest of yours? It could be a sport, it could be a hobby, it could be anything, but like what is something that you enjoy in your life? It could be an activity, it could be an object. Like put something in the chat please that's just something that you enjoy from your life that's just it's just a regular part that you go in. So boating on the water, oh, great one. Crafting and cooking, oh, great one. I like football and journaling, video games. Oh, these are all great. These are oh my god. Okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna fishing. Oh god, I hope I remember all these because we got boating, crafting, football, video games. Like all these are so great. Ugh, I love it. Riding your Harley. Oh, this is where I kind of like Andrew. I wish I can like almost keep chatting, please, but I wish I can pause the chat and just look it up on the screen for you here. Okay, so I'm going to use these as a couple of examples, and then everyone, I want you to kind of take what works for you based on what you did. Or by the way, feel free to borrow somebody else's. Like someone said, riding their Harley. If you like riding Harleys also, but you didn't mention that, but you want to use it if I use it as an example, please feel welcome to. All that matters is that you feel good while thinking about what you have or what you want or both. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine yourself like in these situations, right? So if somebody is like if you're boating, okay, do you boat alone or do you boat with somebody? If you boat with somebody, envision that situation and now have a conversation where you're talking with another person and you're describing how happy and grateful for you are and how excited you are about the manifestation that you mentioned earlier in this live, the manifestation that you want. What are the words that you're saying when you're boating? The person that likes video games, the person that mentioned video games, I want you to imagine like video games. Like I'll use like Mario. I'm old school, but imagine Mario like jumping through the video game and collecting all the coins. Imagine each coin is another indicator of the positive manifestation, and see yourself on screen in the video game, almost like Mario. And you're just like grabbing all these cool things. You're grabbing moments, you're grabbing events, you're grabbing manifestations. You're just like, you're in the flow. And I'm sure you'll pick a video game that really resonates with you. I don't know if Super Mario is that one, but pick a video game that resonates. See yourself with that graphical interface and just see yourself like whatever the object of the video game is. Like, do you collect items? Do you fight enemies? Like, whatever it is, like, in other words, like, if you punch an enemy and like beating them and it like leaves a prize behind, like a heart, or like I remember Castlevania, they leave hearts behind and weapons. Like, imagine you beat an opponent in the video game and a manifestation was left behind. A big fat check if you want money, a big stack of cash, maybe a gift from your lover if you're trying to manifest romance, a gift that they left you. Like pick cool, fun details. For the person that likes cooking and crafting, like imagine like a cool thing where you're stirring ingredients in a pot, but you've got two of them. You've got one where it's food and you're stirring your ingredient, putting ingredients food the way you always do. And another one, you're just throwing in positive streams and colors of energy. And they're creating this huge vibrational like magic dust that's magnetically drawing in your manifestations. Like, notice I'm picking these things that you're doing, and I'm just trying to think of like fun, vibrant ways that don't necessarily have to be grounded in reality, that are involving this passion of yours that you already have a very specific emotional, positive attachment to and a grounding in. These activities that probably bring you ease, they bring you relief, they bring you joy, they bring you happiness, they put smiles on your face. We're linking that up in an imaginative, fun way with the things that we want. Like, and now I got to come up with a name with this, right? Um, I don't know. I don't have one. Like, I don't have a good. I mean, I was trying to come up with like with an alliteration with the word hobby with something. Um, I'll call it the hobby haul. You're like you're getting like a huge haul on your manifestations. It's the hobby haul method. It's a huge haul based on your hobby, based on your interest. So there you have it, like coming up on the fly. That is the hobby haul method. Um, where you take something that's really fun, part of your life, and you're relating these different things for it. How's everyone doing right now? So I'm gonna be really ambitious here. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Again, I don't know how this is gonna go. And again, people in the comments after the fact, do this also, because what kind of magic are we gonna find a year from now that are in the comments and with the chat? Um, Everyone here in the chat, if you can think of something that you think would be a good raw material ingredient for a manifesting method based on what I've just given you for raw materials. What's something that it's not personal to you, it's something where we can use this as an example to give everybody else, where everyone can use this raw material. And I don't know if I just threw something a little bit just too much for you because you're just getting used to this, or if this is right up your alley and everything's clicking. If it's not clicking, it's fine because obviously everyone's still on board and everyone's really connecting and resonating with the methods themselves. I'm just doing an experiment. I want to see if there's anyone that has something that comes to them. Oh, thank you, S. Kelly. Um, Dance music. Okay, cool. So we got dance music. We got that movement, dance music and movement. Okay, cool. Flying into the sun. Interesting. I kind of see the sun itself as a good raw material because we associate even on an like an instinctive level on warmth and life from the sun. Waterfall. Okay. All right, cool. So this is cool. Let's go with the dance music one. We'll start with that. Imagine a party being held in your honor in celebration of your manifestation, and everyone is dancing. Everyone's dancing in celebration. It could be whatever music. It can be music you love, music you don't love. It doesn't matter. Movement comes into that because as this is happening, as you're envisioning the scenario where you're at a party, everyone's celebrating your win, everyone's dancing. What's your movement? Are you dancing with them? Are you off on the side talking? Are you just like walking around the room and basking and feeling appreciation for all these people that showed up in service to you? What for you works? We'll call it the dance party method. I don't know, or the party appreciation method. Someone mentioned a waterfall. All right, imagine going to a waterfall and imagine the waterfall like turning gold or turning white and literally like all the things that you want just coming out like being thrown through by the water, being sent to you vibrationally. Just imagine like infusing yourself with almost a liquid form of the manifestation that's permeating your vibrational frequency, that's then emanating and sending that signal out to the universe to bring the physical reality manifestation to your doorstep for you. A warm bath. Imagine, you're in the bath and you're just relaxing and you've got rubber duckies and the rubber duckies come to life and they start singing and dancing with the dance music and they start celebrating you for the manifestation that you just got. Or imagine your phone rings and you hear the person's voice on the other end and they're telling you like congratulations, you got the job or whatever else, and the duck is kind of like wording along as if they're speaking for them. Like these are all silly, fun things, but notice that we're taking stuff that's vibrant and we're infusing it in a fun, memorable way. It could be silly. It doesn't have to be silly. I don't think the first method, while the first method was close to being out there, it wasn't silly. But you can use you can use silliness, and you can use humor as an anchoring mechanism because that makes a solid impression. But it's not a requirement. Which, by the way, humor is another raw material. If you could throw humor in, if you could throw silliness in, if you could throw something that's a bit of a pattern interrupt from your day as you're visualizing, this is the kind of magic that gets created. This is the kind of stuff that we do. Zpaw says, I was just thinking of synchronicities and now I'm thinking of us dancing synchronized. I love that. And we could even infuse that into the method where people are dancing on their own, but all of a sudden, as an indicator of your vibrational congruence, everyone is now synced up and they're dancing in the exact same rhythm. That's the word I was looking for, rhythm. They're in the exact same rhythm and movement. And it's basically a metaphor for how synchronized and how congruent your vibration is that you're now pulling what you want into your life, into your world, into your reality, into your experience. I see D purple, a secret door in my house, the closet that I never saw before. I open and go through. On the other side is everything I've ever wanted. Awesome. And to something like that, which is amazing and more than enough in and of itself, you could even say like, what's behind there? Like, is it in a room? Is it in a lush forest? Are there birds chirping? Are there people cheering? Is it just like a bunch of big shelves? Is it like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where it's like this big warehouse where all of your stuff is just sitting there waiting for you because it was waiting the whole time? Like, what are the details that kind of fill in for that? Thank you, Michelle. And that's the point. Like Michelle says, that made me laugh thinking of the ducks in the bath. Exactly. Exactly. And you're not going to do this every single time, but it's we can call that the magic bathwater method. Again, I'm gonna have to go back to this live and watch and see what I name these things because I'm literally gonna try to teach these in future YouTube videos. This is wonderful raw material. LW, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate. By the way, like guys, just so we're clear, there's 49 people on the live stream right now. Um, I'm not yet. I'm not like this big YouTuber with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers and thousands of people on the live stream. I've got 51 people right now. These super chats are, and I'm not pressuring anyone to leave them. I just want to say they're such a compliment. Like it speaks volumes when you've got 50 people on and you're getting super chats. To me, that's a good indicator. That means that this stuff is hitting. So just thank you for the affirmation that this stuff is really, really clicking. S. Kelly says, whenever my hubs and I walk, we picture each step as money and health for ourselves. I used to do stuff like that also, and I probably will again. Trudy says, I like using the phrase I already have, the bank balance, insert desire in spades. I already have XYZ in spades. Again, and notice what Trudy said there. That's a figure of speech. That's a form of speaking that resonates personally. If that resonates with you, you can use that, or you can like I said on my last live, like I'm not a big fan of affirmations personally. It doesn't work for me, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work for you. But if affirmations are your thing, or even just like a loose version, come up with something in the wording that just matches the way you would actually say it. Don't feel pressure to read a book that all these books, probably myself included, I'll have to look back and see, but a lot of books, they just say, oh, Amanda, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of books say, I'm so happy and grateful now that. I think Bob Proctor may have invented it. Maybe someone else did. He's the first one, prominent one that I heard say it. But it's like everyone says that now. Everyone teaches I'm so happy and grateful. And if that resonates, awesome. It resonates for me. I use it. But I'm just saying that if that feels awkward or it feels out of sync or out of rhythm, you don't have to say it that way. Say it in the way that works for you. Zeepaw says, it clicked for me recently that you were supposed to believe you have what you want in the future now because that future is also now. I do already have it. So the way you describe that and the way you articulate that, I'm interpreting in my way, is you're aligning with the moment. And for me, like I'm careful with the word belief because some people it'll line up with them and it'll click right away. Other people will put pressure on themselves and they'll feel like they have to change their beliefs or shift their beliefs or rewrite their belief system. And for those people, it becomes too much pressure and then they get frustrated and they kind of throw themselves off. So this is a wonderful thing. If you're anyone watching, if you're interpreting that the right way, it could be really powerful. But just understand, it's just about getting yourself in sync with just the feeling, just a little bit, in a comfortable way, in an easy way, in a non-pressure way, in a non-committal way of what's it kind of like being that person who has that thing. You know, this awesome dude right here has sold over 150,000 copies, right? If someone sat down with me like, it launched on November 24th, 2019. If someone sat down with me on November 23rd, 2019, and they had a conversation with me, I would be like the same person in the sense of like, am I friendly? Am I cordial? Am I funny? Like, how am I interacting with this person, right? Whoever that person was, if I sit down with them today, even though I've grown in many ways and I've evolved and I have new experiences and I'm feeling from a different place. I'm feeling from a person who sold 150,000 copies of their book. I'm still the same level of humor, plus or minus. Still the same level of patience and what my personality. And what I'm articulating here is when this ends up selling 1 million copies, I'm going to be the same person. And I'm saying that because, like, when you get your thing, on some levels you're going to be a new person, but on other levels you're going to be the same person. You're going to feel the way you feel in your own skin. So I say that as your reminder that however you feel in your own skin right now, don't put yourself under pressure like, I need to feel different right now to get the manifestation. Like, no, the way you feel right now is the way you're like going to feel in your skin when that job comes. And, when that thing happens for you. Yes, Debbie Baba, like when it sells a million, definitely throwing a dance party, especially with all the raw materials. Guys, by the way, you already put so much great stuff in the chat. I'm gonna ask one more time. Anyone that's just thinking if we're inspired here? Pam says I shop online and I feel that feeling that I can buy anything I choose. It's an awesome feeling. Zepo says it's crazy looking back and knowing that was me. This is still me, and all the good coming will also be me. Yes. And by the way, while we're on that, I just thought of a raw material. A raw material for manifesting method is you. So, for example, if there is something that you have in your life right now that was a result of your hard work, a very easy manifesting method is to go back and visualize that version of you who was doing all that hard work to get you where you are now and just thank that person. Thank you for putting in all that hours, me of the past from XYZ year. Thank that person and see yourself kind of like putting your hand on their shoulder and just saying like thank you, like really being present with the past version and saying thank you, Zipa, thank you. And as you're doing that, I want you to visualize the feeling of a hand on your shoulder of the future version of yourself thanking you in the now for what you're doing here in this moment on this live in this year. Just the way you've got your hand on their shoulder and you feel that authentic gratitude because that person went through a lot for you. And I don't know if that person's from 5 years ago or 20 years ago, but whoever they are, you got your hand and you authentically mean it. Feel the warmth of the hand on your shoulder from the future version of you, thanking you because of what you're doing today to get them the manifestations that they want. I call that the 3 of me manifesting method. I just made that up because there's 3 of me. There's the past guy, the present guy, and the future guy. That is the 3 of me manifesting method. You are a raw material in this process. The way you engage and relate to yourself is a raw material when if you want to come up with a manifesting method that suits you. How are we doing with this? In the chat and in the comments, is this hopefully giving you a new level of confidence and ease in the idea that you can invent and create manifesting methods for you that you can use for yourself, that you can share with others? Like, is it feeling like this is clicking and we're in a really good place? Thank you, Douglas. Thank you. Marty Party. I hope I'm reading that right. I love that name. Marty Party. Dance party with Marty Party. Feeling hearty. By the way, I love rhymes. I love alliteration. I love puns. I love anything that will anchor the thing to your mind. When I meet people, I remember this is a long, long, long time ago. It was my first week on a new job, and it was funny. It was 2 offices, and one office was like with all like the brain. Well, I guess we'll call it the brainy people, and then the other office was like the not so brainy people, and everyone had opinions of everyone and judgments about everyone and this and that, right? But I'll never forget. Like I went into thank you, Trudy. I went to the lunchroom, and I was a friendly guy. I was introducing myself to every single person from both companies, even though I was only going to hang out with I was only working with my people. Since we're all in the same space, I'm kind of like that gregarious person that if I see your face every day, then I want to know your name and I want to say hi and I want to shake your hand or whatever. Any case, like I go around and I meet these people and they all in really quick, they give me their names. And before I leave, I point at them each, like, Katrina, Mike, Steve, Judy. And they're like blown away. Like it's a small thing. But what they didn't realize was the reason I easily remembered was because all these things I had a name association. Like, with Mike, I thought of a different Mike in my head, and I saw his face kind of pop up as like a t-shirt on Mike. Like I did these like word association things because even back then, before I was even doing this, I understood how anchoring can have a really powerful and useful effect for you. And I'm mentioning that in this moment because this is part of the manifesting method workshop. Think of ways or borrow ways that I'm teaching you here that will anchor these things for you and that will make this more enjoyable. That'll make it like a lot more fun for you. That'll make it something that you look forward to. It'll make it something that you can be more consistent with. Zpaw says, I love how stupid simple you make it all. I've dug into many of these kinds of books and you cut to the quick so well. Thank you. And I don't want to be critical of any other books, but in all books, not even just Law of Attraction, I'm the kind of guy I can be very impatient. I will read a book to get like as much as I can out of it, and I'd be frustrated sometimes if I'll read 200 pages and I got like 3 pages worth of value. But I had to spend the time and energy and effort to get through all 200 pages to find and cherry pick the stuff that actually helps me. So the whole goal, whenever like for any of these, well, this goal is like this is like a quick stocking stuffer. This is like a gift where if someone doesn't read a lot, but you want to give them something cool message, like you give this to them and they read it in an afternoon. This one was more of a thing where like I wanted it to be a thing where no page was wasted. Every word blended into every word, every sentence blended in every sentence, every paragraph into paragraph, page into page, chapter into chapter, from start to finish through the whole book. It was kind of like a song, and there's a rhythm and there's a flow to it, so that no one ideally, and nothing's perfect, but ideally people didn't feel like they were making like an effort to get through to some information, whereas more like the information was right there readily available to them. And I try to replicate that intention in this format for this kind of thing. So thank you for that compliment. Um, Trudy says, "I just keep coming back. It's like the title says it all." Thank you. That was the exact intention. Notice, by the way, I say it's the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. I don't call it that the last one you'll ever read because the truth is, some people will want to read more after, and ideally, like it's I don't want to be too egotistical, but the intention in order to make the book right was that they'll read a new book and be like, "I already had everything in that last one. I have everything. Andrew dispelled all the things that I was holding myself back on. I can now just move on this. I can keep reading books, but that's the last one I needed to read. That was the intention." All right. I forgot if I asked, so I'm going to ask again, or ask for the first time. Even though I already asked for raw materials, I think I interrupted you. I came up with them on my own. Guys, we'll do like one more thing here. Like we'll do one more method, but I need your help because I need something that's going to prompt me to get my brain working in the right direction. Feel free to throw what you view as a worthy raw material that we could use to build or create a manifesting method. And Growing is asking about books. I can tell you, Growing, there's only 3 books I've got. I've got this guy right here on Amazon. I've got this guy right here on Amazon. And I've got this guy on Amazon. And you don't even have to like look on Amazon. You can go to andrewcap.com, andrewcap.com, and I have easy links to all the listings. They are all on Audible. They are all on Kindle. They are all in paperback. They are all in hardcover. They are all in whatever format, whether you're gifting it to someone or doing whatever. This one quick aside, this is a lesson in the sense that when this guy was doing well, every time like I would announce like 40,000 copies sold, 50,000, 70,000, I'd have all sorts of friends like, "How are you selling so many books, Andrew?" And I'd get on like a 90-minute Zoom with them and I would just tell them like everything that I did intentionally, although some of it's unintentional. A lot of it is manifestation. There are unintentional parts, but all the stuff I did intentionally, I told them. People kept asking me. I didn't want to charge my friends, but I couldn't keep doing it. So I just wrote it all down. And while it's around the theme of nonfiction books specifically, it's kind of designed for anyone that wants to market any product or service because the lesson is using the lens of books and how to title a book and how to do a cover and this and that. But it's really just about service. So I don't know, food for thought. Um, Dimitri says Escape Velocity was and is still rather useful. Thank you. Escape Velocity, for anyone wondering, is a 30-day program that is only, well, I say was only available in the month of December. But if things go the way I think they're going to go, it's no longer going to be a December deal. It's going to be a different kind of deal and hopefully more accessible to people. Um, So puppy kisses, aliens. So I saw the puppy kisses was the first one, which I imagine, Amanda, you meant for the raw material I was asking about. So most people like dogs. I'm about to use dogs and puppies as a raw material. If dogs don't work for you, like you could literally like replace it with like human affection or a different kind of animal or something. But for the purposes of dogs, I want you to imagine like a magical puppy with a huge slobbery magical tongue just like jumping over you joyfully and licking you. And every time the dog is licking you, it's actually licking the vibrational your vibrational aura and making like if you ever get like a dog like think about it, anyone that's gotten a puppy kiss, like I quick story and it'll make sense for this. And this is the puppy kisses method. So thank you, Amanda. I went and I saw my cousin, this is years back, and he had a new dog, this puppy Jake, and Jake was just awesome. Jake was a joy. But I remember it was my first night sleeping over, and Jake got into the room and ran up to me and just licked my face all over. And it was like it was sweet and everything, right? But my face was all sticky. It was all dog slobber. So the puppy kisses method is like a dog is licking you all over, but because your aura surrounds you, if you don't feel it, your dog is licking your aura and making your aura sticky for the things that you want. Imagine the dog's magical kisses, the slobbery of the dog. It's kind of disgusting, which makes it humorous, which makes it an anchor, right? Imagine this magical slobber. It's all over your aura now. It's all sticky and it's golden. And the universe can see and feel it. And it's like a magnet where like the universe will toss something that you want and it'll be drawn into your aura, will be drawn into you, to your life, to your experience. That's the puppy kisses method. Z-Paw says, "Oh no, a cat that wants to snuggle against me, please." Cats are great too. And let's talk about the cat snuggle method. So this, by the way, I'm not making this up. Like, if you look into do a little research, cats when they feel good, they purr. You know that vibration, the purring noise. They're actually purring at a certain frequency that's been known to heal bones, and it has a very good healthy frequency. So like if you're like holding a cat that's purring and you feel that vibration, while like mentally and therefore physiologically it feels good, it's actually of a physical benefit if you believe certain studies. Whether you do or not, let's actually go with this. The cat snuggle method is imagine you're like just snuggling a cat and the cat's purring affectionately and that purr is getting louder and deeper. It's vibrating on your chest more and more and more, and it's literally adjusting and correcting your vibrational frequency. It's molding the frequencies together. That's drawing the things that you want. And you could even picture like the cat as a golden cat or as a color of cat that you love, and you could picture the purring. You could visualize the actual frequency in golden waves permeating your body, permeating your vibration, permeating your aura and your way of being. Notice I like to use vibrant visual things. I like to take things that are in the world, things that are otherworldly. Like I mix and match anything that makes an anchor, anything that's fun, anything that's enjoyable. This is where we're going with this. By the way, anyone watching my YouTube channel, like I've been doing lives this a lot this week. I think I skipped Tuesday. But last week it was a lot to do everything. So all I did was I clipped methods from my YouTube lives, and those were my videos this week. Like I'm lazy, but I also know that not everyone watches the lives, and I know new people are finding the channel. So I made it like in my own lazy way. I did that. I don't think I'm going to be able to clip this in the same way, but I am going to be able to use what I learned here to articulate and do new recordings of the methods in an easy way. So this just correcting cat method. That's another way. That's another title you can go with, right? But yeah, this live is like this is raw material for content. So thank you. Oh, I love that. Trudy said the perfect method. Perfect is spelled Purrfect. I like that. Well, if I use it, I will credit you. Because I said the cat snuggle method, but the perfect method is kind of better. I mean, they're good. They're both good. They're both good. How's everyone doing? Does it feel like we've got like some good value? Does it feel are we this is a successful workshop? Do we feel like we can start making our own manifesting methods? And you don't have to. Listen, in case it's not clear, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep putting out content. I'm going to keep putting out new methods. I'm going to keep doing this for you so that you don't have to. I just thought it would be fun to give you this option to put you through this experience, even just to kind of like give you like a backstage pass to my creative process. Excuse me, my creative process, in case there's something about it that can translate for your benefit. um, FYI, I've got another live. This is the daytime one. I'm going to do another evening one later at 8 p.m. In part because I'm curious to see which time gets a better turnout. I'm trying to figure stuff out. I don't know what that's going to like. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know if I'm going to reference any of these methods. I don't know if I'm going to start from scratch. I have no idea how it's going to unfold. And that's the way I want it. I want this to be something where I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this because that is the demonstration. I guess I have this as a little bit of a help. I can, if people, I mean, it's 8 p.m. It's an 8 p.m. time slot. People are going to chat. But if people don't, I do have the raw materials from this one that I can use. But like this is what we've got going here. Growing Ganglofts Trading says more methods is what I had been searching for, and the universe gave it to me. I accidentally opened YouTube and saw that you were live. Nice. Okay. I guess that means that you're not getting emails from me, which is fine. Um, and you know, I know YouTube could be a little odd sometimes. Like if you put notifications, that might pop up. Who knows? But I'm glad you found me. I'm glad that the timing of this really worked out. That like I'm just LW says it's 4:55 a.m. Whoa, good morning to you. 4:55 a.m. Wow. Okay, new method, the early riser method. Basically what happens is like you wake up and you're groggy and you look at your phone, right? When we wake up sometimes like I'll say oftentimes like we wake up and we're at ease and then suddenly like we remember a problem and suddenly like we feel tight in our chest. The early riser method, knowing the way you are, you're probably going to check your phone the first thing you do. You're going to change your wallpaper. And the wallpaper is going to be something where it's an image of something that reminds you of a good moment in your life, or it's a statement or phrase or affirmation, or whatever you want to call it. But you're going to make your wallpaper some kind of reminder to experience gratitude for yourself or something in your life. That's the early riser method. So when next time it's 4:55 a.m. for you, and you haven't gone over the top and above and beyond and checked out a live with me, but you're just waking up and starting your day, use your phone screen as a leveraging point. Use your human nature. The fact that we're all addicted to our screens and we're addicted to doom scrolling and all that fun stuff. Use it to your advantage and to your benefit. Early riser method. That's the first thing you do. And by the way, if you're like a really healthy minded person and you ignore your phone, well, maybe the first thing you do is you grab a drink of water, or the first thing you do is you brush your teeth, or whatever it might be. Put a note, put a reminder, put something that's in your path on the first thing that you do getting up that will be your reminder. LW is feeding the cat. Yes, cats are unforget. They will wake you up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They do not respect your sleep schedule. Neither do dogs, but that's great. So your cat just did you a huge favor so that you can get the perfect cat snuggling method. Snuggle cat method. I have to remember. Z-Paw, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the little cat. We got a super chat with a black cat on brand, by the way. I wasn't going to say this because it kind of dates this video. I could picture somebody like in May and the sun's out and they're watching the video and it like we're at the end of it, so it's okay. But like it's autumn, you know what I mean? And like we've got the autumn vibe, we got the Halloween vibe, we got the harvest vibe, we got all that cool stuff going on. So I see this cool cat, and you just gave me an idea. Like I kind of thought of this method already, but just as a reminder for people, just as long as we're in methods here, let me give you like an old classic. I forgot the name of it because it was based on a merry manifesting method, which was from Christmas. But this was a Halloween method that was like the Christmas one. Thank you, S. Kelly. I appreciate that. Um, this one, if you are in a neighborhood where they're starting to put Halloween decorations up and you like to take walks around because walks are healthy, use what you see as anchors and leveraging points to feel gratitude. For example, next time I'm walking in a neighborhood and I see a black hat decoration, that's an indicator to be grateful for Anytime I've received affection, whether it was a human or a cat. Anytime to see a pumpkin, pumpkins with a P. Okay, we'll make that the past, or it could be past or present. Let me think of something from my past that I'm grateful for. Anytime I see, like, a fun witch, I'm like, okay, which thing am I going to be grateful for now? I'll think of something from my present, and then maybe there'll be another thing that's a cue for something in the future that I'm grateful for in advance. Use the Halloween decorations, use the changing fresh environment, use the novelty of it because it's only going to be around for another month or so of as reminders to feel grateful as different cues. Decide ahead of time what this thing means and what it's going to make you manifest. Like maybe you're working on your relationship and you want to improve your relationship. Okay, this one item for Halloween is going to remind you to think of something from your past together with that person that you're grateful for. Something from your present will be another thing, and then a future thing. Like use those as focal points. Trudy says vibrational bingo method. That's pretty cool. I I think that's good for like year round, like in more of an evergreen thing. I wouldn't name that for the Halloween one, but that is great for evergreen, the vibrational bingo method. Because who knows what you're gonna pull, right? Who knows what because like for year round for evergreen, maybe you see like a red car that you don't normally see. Or maybe you see that mailboxes have mail in them, or like any kind of like changing random thing. Maybe you see that the leaves are starting to turn. Maybe you see flowers are starting to bloom. Who knows? But I like that vibrational bingo. Really cool. All right, guys. Well, we went a full hour, and I don't want to burn you out. I don't know if some of you, I don't know if are you guys coming to the later one or going to see it in a replay. Um, Thank you, and it's so great to have you. I'm so grateful for everyone in the chat. Um, yeah, these are going fast. Would you believe that when I do these lives, I sometimes ask myself, "Well, am I gonna have enough to talk about?" And then I remember how much of a chatterbox I am. But so I'm feeling really good about this. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna get off. But like right now, I'm Eastern time. I'm New York. It's like 3:30 or 3:31 Eastern Standard Time at 8 p.m. tonight. It's not an encore. It's a brand new workshop. You're invited to attend and be there again, but we're starting from scratch. We're going to ask for more raw materials. We're going to see what else I'm bringing to the day. Who knows if I'm going to get a question via email that will be relevant for this? I don't know, but we're doing this all over again. I'm going to find out how many people show up to that one. I'm literally going to compare. I'm trying to figure out the best time to do these lives so that I can serve the most people. So it's 8:30 p.m. in the UK. So it'll probably be a little late for you, Enda. I understand if that's the case, unless you want to be like, Rockstar LW 4:55 a.m. But thank you, Amanda. You are the best. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. Thank you. Well, not for today. That's all I got for this afternoon. I will see hopefully a number of you tonight, and I'll hopefully see a bunch of you. I'm going to try to do a live tomorrow. And I can't keep emailing people. Some people are getting annoyed. Um, can't keep emailing, but like be on the lookout. Like just ping the channel check. I'll put up the the warning on the channel a couple hours ahead of time. You'll know that it's coming. But either afternoon or evening tomorrow or both. I'm either doing an afternoon one or an evening one or both tomorrow. So expect something tomorrow and expect something tonight. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys whenever it is again. Thank you for everyone that super chatted. Thank you for everyone that commented. Thank you for everyone in the future who comments below and contributes to this and participates. This here is meant to serve you in your the most beneficial way for your most highest good. That's my intention for this. Thank you. I'll definitely look forward to seeing you next time.